Alright, so our handwriting today is going to be the letter E. So let's go ahead and get started on letter E. I like letter E. It's really easy because it's straight lines for the uppercase E, or it looks a lot like the C with a straight line. Love it. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. First thing you should always do, make sure your name is at the top. Put the number on the date line. My number is H30 and I circled it so I have it on the date line. You also need to put today's date on the date line. Alright, after you've done that, you are ready to get started. I'm so excited for E because it's easy. Alright, so start at the ceiling, drag to the floor, pick up your pencil, and then it's 3 straight lines out that are the same length. Your first straight line is at the ceiling, middle line, and then finally at the floor. You're going to trace that big E 3 times in this corner right up here. I'm going to know if you watch the video because you're going to draw a puffy cloud around the E after you trace it 3 times. Pause your video, trace it 3 times. You should have just traced this E 3 times and drawn a puffy cloud around it. Now we're going to do the next thing. You're going to trace each letter on the top line 2 times. 2 times. 2 times. Start at the ceiling, drag to the floor. Then top line, dotted line, bottom line. The top line is the ceiling, the dotted line's in the middle, and the floor is your baseline or your bottom line. So ceiling to floor, top line, dotted line, bottom line. Pause the video, trace the rest of your E's. You're going to trace each E on this line 2 times. 2 times. Ceiling to floor, drag your pencil, straight line. Then it's a straight line out on your ceiling, on your middle line, and on your floor. Top line, you're going to start at the top line, that's your ceiling, all the way down to the floor. Pick up your pencil, then pull it out on the ceiling, pull it out on the dotted line, and pull it out on the floor. On this line, after you trace each letter, each dotted line letter 2 times, you're going to put a puffy cloud around the one that you want to grow, that you think doesn't have very straight lines or it's not in the right place. Put a puffy cloud around the one you want to grow. When I look at mine, I think this is my growing E, the one that needs the most improvement. The one that you think is the best, your perfect E on the line, you're going to draw a circle around it with some sunshine rays coming off. That's your glowing E, the one you did the very best. So a cloud is your growing E, the one you need to improve. Your glowing E, your best E, the very best one is a sunshine. You're going to do that for each E for each line. Find a growing E and a glowing E. Growing E is a cloud. Oh, you know what? I just realized I did this E wrong because I started at the ceiling and went to the floor and then dragged my pencil out instead of picking it back up and starting at the ceiling. So I didn't do that E correctly. I need to make sure I fix it the next time. Pick my pencil up, start at the same place, drag it out, drag it out, drag it out. Now when I look at my E and their E, my drag outs are a little too long and this bottom line isn't touching the floor. Did the same thing. I need to fix it this time. I would say this is my growing E, so I have a cloud around it. This is my glowing E, so I'm going to put my sun around it. Notice my sun is not taking forever. It's a circle with some spikes. Finish this page. Make sure you have a growing E and a glowing E on each line. At the bottom, in the box, you need to circle the capital E's. They circled the first one for you. All right, lowercase e is just as fun. We already learned the letter C, so lowercase c is very similar. You're going to start, swoop out, and back up. Oh, you know what? I did that wrong. You're going to start in the middle of your dotted line. Between your dotted line and your floor, you're going to start in the middle and drag your pencil straight out in a straight line. And then you'll make your C all the way around. So if I'm not using a traced letter, I'm going to start between the dotted line and the floor, drag straight out, and then swoop it all the way around like a C. This little case C is going to have the sun around it. I'm making sure you're listening to the directions and watching the video. Trace it 3 times and draw your sun around it. Pause the video, do that now. You should have just traced little case E. Now you're going to trace the black line E on the top row. Trace it. Notice how I start between the dotted line and the floor. I drag straight out and then I make my C all the way around. Straight line, C all the way around. Straight line, C all the way around. Straight line, C all the way around. In between the dotted line and the floor is your straight line, and then you make a C. Okay. You should have 6 E's on each line. 6 lowercase e's on each line. You're going to trace all of your black line e's 1 time. Trace all of your dotted line e's 2 times. Then you're ready to do your E on the last 2 lines. Remember to trace your black line E, that first E, before you do your other E's. In between, straight out, C all the way back around. I have my line too low, so I need to fix it on the next one. That one looks better, but it's floating. It's not touching the floor or the dotted line. Still a floating E. All right, let me see. This one is my growing E. I need to fix it. I would say this one is my glowing E. Make sure you put your cloud around the E that needs to grow and a sun around the cloud that is a glow. Then on the bottom, you need to circle all of the lowercase e's in the box. They did the first one for you. Circle the rest in the box. When you finish this page, you can go on to the next. Pause your video. You should have just finished your uppercase and lowercase e practice. You have 1 more practice. We're going to do a cloud around this box. We're going to trace each letter 3 times. Uppercase E. Then I'm going to go down to the line and write uppercase E. The 2 places where I have uppercase E. Ooh, that wasn't very good. I didn't do a straight line. That wasn't very good either. Hopefully I can fix it on this last one. Well, those ones are kind of rough. I would say out of this line, this one is my best. And I would say probably this one was my worst. So I'm going to put my cloud around it. Pause your video. Do your uppercase E. You should have just finished your uppercase E lines. Now we're going to do lowercase e lines. Remember, you start between the dotted line and the floor for your straight line out. Drag your pencil across and then make your C around. Go ahead and do your lowercase e's on this page. Remember to have your cloud for your growing E and your sun for your glowing E. Cloud is growing, sun is glowing. You should have 6 E's on each line. You should have finished your 6 E's on each line. Now you're going to circle the E's in the poem down here. I'll do the first 2 lines with you. You need to do the rest on your own. So I'm circling the E's in the title. Now I'm going to circle the E's in that first line. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. You're going to circle the rest of the E's on your own. Pause the video, do that now. You should have just finished your poem. Now you're going to look at the back side of the page. Remember, we always trace the E in the corner first. Put your sun around the E's in the corner. This is going to be my way to see if you are paying attention. Trace these E's 2 times instead of 3. Are you listening to the directions? I hope so. Write 6 E's on this line, 6 E's on this line. Make sure you trace each letter in the word before you write the word. I got egg on here 2 times. I'm going to put 2 eats on this line. I'm going to put 2 ears on this line. I am not putting anything else on this line. I'm going to write elephant 1 time on this line. Make sure you trace it first and then write it. When you are done, you'll put it in the top tray. Actually, no. I'm going to say finishers, put it in the bottom tray. If you don't get done before morning meeting, you'll put it in the top tray.